Okay, so me and Furia first. Me and Furia first. And then whoever rolls highest. Okay, guys. Meme. Alright. So I beat Furia in 6.2, even though he denies it. Oh my god, why do I have to fight him on this map, dude? Fuck this map.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of kiting. He has advantage in there. 100%. 1 hundo and 10%. Alright, Tierga. 1 hundo and 10%, yeah. Alright. Let me get my group. After Furia. Okay, we got a group ready. And I'm gonna commentate this. Seems like Tierga is just trying to get himself a distance like normal. The stun goes out from Furia, which Tierga trinkets in of the start, and just ranges. Furia is just torpedoing right after Tierga, trying to get the damage going, get his trinkets burst and everything up and running. Tiger's Lust available to catch Tierga, but actually gets to the part. I didn't pop anything
there. I popped defenses, but I did get his fortifying brew there.
You did? Wow, you did get a wall up from Furia. Furia actually expecting a lot of damage from the big bad Boomkin. Furia still has burst available because the Tiger Eye Brew is actually back up and running. Gets haste available as well, just lining away from Tierga, trying to wait for his reset again. Gonna do the rogue. Gonna do the rogue paralysis into a stun whistle. Fist of Fury comes out. Chi bursts into another stun afterwards. Chi torpedoes come out. No second stun to follow it. Tierga now has some moment to get away from Furia and is going to be kiting away from him. Furia is just chasing furiously right after Tierga. Gets him in another stun. No trinket for this one. Tierga actually shadow melts and is now raging Furia. Gets karma off of Furia. Does Tierga have NV? I actually don't see it on his buffs. Oh, you know, he does have NV and does have his full burst. The Piccolo of the Flaming Fire is the one that's dealing the most damage to Furia, obviously. Furia is actually getting a full tried to go for an in-cap, but the karma did break the in-cap. Now Tierga just needs to get away from the room into the in-cap, into the fist, and Tierga goes down. Who is facing Furia? Sav versus Furia now. Oh yeah, that was a pretty bad matchup. What map do you think would have been better for you? Like Lordaeron?
Blade's Edge.
Blade's Edge.
One that doesn't have the most homosexual fucking LOS would be good.
You mean like the pillars? Like the way they're oddly,
yes.
Yeah, they're kind of oddly shaped. Super Tease was talking about it the other day on GCD. Now it's Sav versus Furia going ham at one another. The fists are flying, the kicks are flying. Chi burst comes out from Furia, forces a karma out of Sav. And Sav is actually not going to be able to get any karma damage out to Furia. Furia just peels away as soon as he can. Now they go back to healing after one another. Sav does not have a trinket and might not have Nimble Brew. Might have Nimble Brew and is going to be able to get a setup onto Furia, but how clean is that setup going to be? The fists fly out and Furia actually gets out a Nimble Brew of his own. As far as I understand, Furia is out of trinkets. Furia gets into another stun whistle, but Sav doesn't seem to be bursting at all. Sav actually has wall up and running. Furia should not be damaging into, but he's actually still putting a dent in Sav. Furia now backing up just to get his heals off, and Sav is chasing right after him. Furia then torpedoes way away, back behind the pillar just to get a few heals off. Furia is actually ahead of Sav in terms of health, just a little bit. Going to get a full lineup onto Sav. Actually, it's going to be half a lineup because the stun wasn't full, so I guess the Fist of Fury came out somewhat earlier onto Sav. Sav is now back up behind the pillar himself, just trying to heal himself up to full as best he can. Fury is just going to maybe try to get a setup of his own going. I don't think Fury will have a stun available though, but he does want to get an incapacitate rather than Sav getting one, so maybe then Fury can predict a burst out of Sav. Gets an incap onto Sav into a Fist of Fury, which he, I guess, nimbles and incaps and then stuns, and now he goes burst of his own, but is he going to mess up the Fist? The Fist actually go out right after the stun. Do not get Fury low. Fury Chi torpedoes and pops wall, so Fury is actually going to be able to survive a lot of this burst. Fury waited for that wall for a while. Incap for a really quick heal. Actually, they incap one another. Fury gets a really quick heal, but still goes back into a stun, a short stun though. Fury now goes out with his fist, pumping damage onto Sav, and actually goes back to ranging him, knowing that the stun is not going to last for long. Both the monks are now just trying to reset, but Fury has the advantage, so he's going to try to take the lead. Gets himself caught in the fists himself, but isn't going to take the full damage or the full stun duration. Gets a karma. Sav gets a karma out of Fury, and the karmas are burned for both monks. Now it's going to be a question of which monk is going to die to the karma. Both monks could actually maybe even die by the end of all the karmas, because karmas are just going to bounce between one and the other. And Fury takes out Sav. Fury takes out 2 people in a row. He even took out Sav, who has the same exact cooldown, same exact playstyle, just had a bit of advantage over Fury in terms of he might have had 1 or 2 coolies prior. Now it's a Fluff Cutie versus Fury going out. Now a Feral, I feel like, is a bit of a better matchup versus a Monk altogether for the most part. Like a really good Feral can bleed up the Monk, kite away, re-heal, and do same thing over and over and over. But we'll see how this round will go. Both the Feral and the Monk are just trying to pillar behind one another. Fury is going offensive while Fluff Cutie is just putting bleeds and running, trying to get his health full. Try not to pop any major burst, it seems like, until needed. Gets a bash into Fury with full bleeds as well. Another stun goes on to Fury. Fury actually might die here. Does Fury have karma? Goes into Fist of Fury onto Fluff Cutie, getting him kind of low. Actually, both of the challengers are pretty low. Fury at 10k health. The bleeds are on him, trying to heal as best as he can, just trying to kite away as far as he can. The Chi Burst goes out, maybe try to see if he can get Fluff Cutie out. Gets a single heal, maybe. Gets stunned with incaps the Feral though. I guess the stun didn't go out on Fury as the stun de-art heavily. The stun's going out on Fluff Cutie. Again, those stuns were short. Fluff Cutie does have full bleeds onto Furia, and it seems like Fluff Cutie hasn't burned through any of his defensives or offensive cooldowns. The karma does go out from Furia, and the bleeds are basically going to follow, but they're still going to deal some damage to Fluff. What Fury is doing right now is just trying to re-heal himself as best as he can, but Fury is also trying to stay offensive as much as he can. Was thinking maybe to see if he can make that karma into an offensive matter. Gets an incap into a chi burst into a fist, but Fluff Cutie is now actually popping his coolies and is going to finish off Furia. And now Fury is down. Fluff Cutie had to burn through incap, and now it comes out a Shadow Priest. Can the Shadow Priest now finish off Fluff Cutie? It's unlikely because Fluff Cutie is in an S. He is in incarnation form. He does have a lot of cooldowns available right now. He is able to dish out a lot of damage. Got full bleeds onto Savarus, which is the Shadow Priest. Savarus is trying not to burn through Disperse at all. Actually gets real low. I would Disperse right now at any moment, really. Just trying to pump some flash heals to recover as best as he can. Trying to keep Fluff Cutie dotted up as much as possible. And he's actually able to stay and stick around for a while. Fluff Cutie is actually going to wait out the dot and get a full reset. And Savage is probably going to grab the eyes to make sure... No, yeah, he does grab the eyes to make sure that he can get a drop onto Fluff to make sure to see where the Fluff is coming from. Now, to see where the Fluff is coming from. I didn't even plan that one. Fluff Cutie gets a full reset and is kiting away from Sav, who the Shadow Priest, not Sav, the Monkus. Gets a full opener onto Sav with Dispersion coming out of the bat, and gets full bleeds onto the Shadow Priest, but Dispersion is going to help out in terms of getting a bit of versatility for the damage at the very beginning. Gets one single dot, gets a single cascade rolling onto Fluff Cutie. Fluff Cutie isn't really taking too much damage, but Sav is going to take a fuck ton of damage right now. The Horror comes out, and this is the time for Savers to get as much damage onto Fluff Cutie as possible. The wall does go out for Fluff Cutie, so Fluff Cutie doesn't have at least one wall. He doesn't have his burst, and he now might just be able to finish off Savarus. The bleed is literally going to finish off Savarus. Savarus is trying to deal as much damage as possible until the very end, and Savarus just trying to survive, just living. Gets a kick, is actually forced to kick, and now he's down. The Shadow Priest did as much as he could, and now it's Iniquity versus Fluff Cutie. Actually gets Fluff Cutie out and busts out as much damage to him as possible. Fluff Cutie actually tries to use Shadow Melt in order to get away and pops NS, just trying to get himself as much heals as possible. And the healing touches go out. He's just trying to hide behind the pillar, just trying to recover from the DK, and gets a full re-stealth on the DK. The DK is just trying to find Fluff Cutie. Finds him, actually. I'm pretty sure he used Desecrate Ground against the Trinket, and he actually can get Fluff Cutie low. He needs to put up a finisher onto him. The Soul Reaper. The stun goes out, and you Trinkets, so the stun went behind the pillar, thanks to the good old WAD lag that we all love to see here in World of Warcraft PvP. Iniquity is about halfway health, mounts up in order to catch up to Fluff Cutie. Isn't able to catch him. Actually, he is able to catch him, hits him a little bit, but isn't able to put any dots. Fluff Cutie just sitting in bear form, just trying to get his heals back up and running. Yeah, Iniquity actually was able to got hit with a bash, which he IBFs and grips Fluff Cutie right at him, just trying to get on him, just trying to get as much damage out, trying to finish this fight the faster than needed. Fluff Cutie actually ranges the stun from Iniquity, and down goes Fluff Cutie with the last wall available and trying to save his life. So now the question is, who is Iniquity going up against? Tirga, are you able to tag in for me, buddy? I am running out of saliva. Hello?
Hey, what up? I'm back, sorry. I haven't my Franker Z's were working.
That's fine. Oh man. Furia took you and Sav. Then Fluff Cutie took out Furia and the Shadow Priest, so I feel like Shadow Priest is as good as best he could, honestly. Like how he lived, just by casting Flash Heal. Iniquity now, I feel like... Who's Iniquity's facing against? I guess he's facing against Saber now. Yep.
Oh, I'm not even in the game right now.
Oh, did you leave the game already?
Yeah.
That's fine. Alright, so it seems like Iniquity is facing against Saber. Saber isn't popping any of his cool, he's just trying to get the basics set up. Gets a Hodge into Iniquity just to test the water, see what Iniquity is going to do, how he's going to react. But Iniquity isn't feeling threatened at all. He just pops a trinket of his own, just testing the waters with Saber. Saber pops his coolies, which Iniquity responds with an AMS. I'm pretty sure Iniquity popped the trinket on purpose just to see if Saber will pop any of his coolies. The DK burst comes out with a Pillar of Frost, and he's actually putting the hurt into Saber. Saber is trying to play defensive, actually puts his Executor Sentence on himself, gets a bop off, and is now bought, but the DK dispels it right away. DK is going as offensive as possible without really going too hammed, isn't looking like he's bursting through too many offensive cooldowns, and actually finishes off Saber real quickly by using a Desecrated Ground just to get out of any CC and any maybe even a Hodge that came out on him, just to make sure he can get some sort of advantage over the Red Paladin. See what he can do. Now he is left to kite his way against Elara Ranger. And Ranger being an Elemental Shaman to verse against the Death Knight. First of all, it's the worst matchup I could see anyone go against. Death Knight versus Ellie Shaman. And second, Ranger just isn't used to our arenas, let alone duels of this kind of caliber. So if Ranger does come out alive, it'll be interesting, but it didn't work out at the end. And that was another 5-5-1-1 duel with a lot more commentary than before.
Is the game over?